Hello, we are delighted to share with you the new BTEC Tech Award in Sport. My name is Penny Lewis and I'm the Subject Advisor for PE in Sport, and I've been involved with the development of the new Tech Award. I'll update you briefly on each component that makes up the qualification and what changes have taken place to content and assessment from both the existing Tech Award and the BTEC First Award in Sport. The new Tech Award in Sport has a three-component structure. Components 1 and 2 are each 36 guided learning hours and worth 30% of the qualification grade. They are assessed using the new Pearson Set assignments, or PSAs, marked internally by you, the teacher assessor, and moderated by Pearson. The PSAs are released in January of each year and assessed in May/June from 2023. So you have plenty of flexibility within your programme to prepare for, administer and mark the assessments. The final component is component 3, which is 48 guided learning hours, worth 40% of the qualification grade, and is externally assessed by Pearson. It is a 90-minute written examination available twice a year in the January-February and May-June assessment series. Each assessment in the qualification is marked out of 60 available marks. From your feedback, the new Tech Award in Sport has been developed primarily based on the excellent content of the first award in sport, with some additional practical content taken from the Tech Award in Sport, Activity and Fitness. We've selected the areas of content that our focus groups and current practitioners have confirmed were the most interesting and engaging for their learners, and we've taken this opportunity to enhance and expand on those areas. In addition, employers have supported the development, giving us insight into key skills and areas of knowledge learners require to prepare them for work effectively in the sports industry. This has been taken on board and incorporated into elements of the content and assessment process of this qualification, helping learners to have an understanding of what it will be like to work in the sports industry and preparing them for work opportunities, as well as preparing them for progression onto Level 3 vocational courses. You'll also notice we have provided greater detail in the qualification content to give clear direction as to the depth and breadth of key areas that need to be explored. Components 1 and 2 are assessed through non-examine internal assessment, which have been designed to demonstrate application of the conceptual knowledge underpinning the sector through realistic tasks and activities, and in doing so to deepen learning by connecting knowledge and practice. Due to the new technical requirements from the DFE, there are some changes to the assessment of those components that will be slightly different to what teachers of the current Tech Award have been used to. Assignments used for summative assessment must now be set by the awarding organisation, so the old assignment briefs have been replaced by the Pearson Set assignments, or PSAs. As I've already said, these will be released in January each year. Additionally, under the new requirements, all assessments must be marked through numerical means using a mark scheme. In the new mark scheme, students can gain up to 12 marks across 4 bands, ranging through limited, adequate, good, and comprehensive knowledge of understanding. A consistent set of descriptors to help you understand which band fits the quality of the evidence overall, with 3 marks available in each band to give you more scope for differentiation. For component 1, the assessment is comprised of 3 tasks that will take approximately 5 supervised hours to complete, requiring students to select physical activities appropriate for a case study with regard to available provision, technology and warm-up. For component 2, the assessment consists of 4 tasks through which students will demonstrate their understanding of components of fitness and the roles and responsibility of officials. This assignment will take approximately 4 hours to complete. Component 1 is called Preparing for Participation in Sport and Physical Activity. We have updated content from the Tech Award and the BTEC First with some additional content related to different types of participants, barriers to participation, and methods to address these barriers to bring content in line with current practices. This helps learners to understand ways in which they can be more inclusive when volunteering or working in the sports industry. This component explores the equipment used in sport, physical activity, and outdoor activity, and aligns to some extent with the content from the Tech Award relating to technology in sport. The content is presented in a more holistic way and allows learners to explore the equipment and technology used for a much wider range of sports, which also includes physical activities and outdoor activities. You've told us that learners on both the BTEC First Award and the Tech Award found some content related to anatomy and physiology a little challenging. To support student progression into the sports industry and Level 3 sports-related qualifications, some underpinning anatomy and physiology knowledge is required. We have therefore taken this feedback on board and incorporated an applied approach to teaching anatomy and physiology content. It has been incorporated into the warm-up, where learners learn how the body responds to different parts of a warm-up in relation to the cardiorespiratory, musculoskeletal systems. In addition, assessment of this area of content is assessed in a practical manner, with learners planning and leading a warm-up to demonstrate their knowledge, rather than in the theoretical approaches that were taken previously for anatomy and physiology. This application of knowledge supports and informs the learning process in a way learners can truly contextualise. In addition, learners will explore adaptations that can be made to a warm-up to support different types of participants that have different needs, which again supports the importance of inclusivity in physical activity sessions. Component 2 is taking part and improving other participants' sporting performance. Again, feedback was very clear that learners enjoyed the practical elements of participation in sport, and this has been retained in this component. If you teach the current BTEC in sport, most of the content will be familiar to you with appropriate updates. The focus of this unit is for learners to demonstrate the ability to perform in one sport of their choice, as feedback has indicated that many learners are starting to specialise in just one sport at this age in a coaching or performance or officiating role. We've taken this on board and have just one sport is focused upon rather than 2, which is in the current BTEC First qualification. We have provided more clarification on the content related to rules and regulations and focused on a more applied approach for the assessment of this area of content. This has moved away from the more theoretical and less applied nature of the rules and regulations in sport in the assessment process for the previous BTEC qualifications. We've added content related to working with other participants in a practical manner to help improve their sporting performance, which they explore. This incorporates content related to the sports leadership units from both the BTEC First and the Tech Awards, which is something you told us you enjoyed delivering and learners enjoyed and fully engaged with. Additional content has been added to support learners to know how to develop sporting skills through the use of planning progressive drills, conditioned practices, and practical application of delivery. This supports the development of a wide range of transferable skills which can be used in both educational related context and employment for the sports sector and beyond. The assessment for this component will be largely practical, as we know BTEC learners excel in practical assessment. This reduces the amount of written work for the qualification, which also helps to reduce the marking load on tutors and diversify the assessment methods used and the learners are exposed to. We have also provided greater clarification on how to assess practical ability and have retained the requirements for the learners to demonstrate their skills in competitive situations, but removed the hurdle of full competition requirements to be met. So a summary of component 2 is that in this component, learners will investigate the components of fitness and their effects on performance, take part in practical sport, explore the roles of officials in sport, and learn about methods and applications of sporting drills to improve other participants' sporting performance. And this component aligns to the content of the practical participation and leadership units in the BTEC First in Sports, and it includes some elements of leadership from the Tech Award. Component 3 is developing fitness to improve other participants' performance in sport and physical activity. The overall focus for most of this content is based on the BTEC First Award unit that is externally assessed. We know you enjoy teaching this unit and are familiar and comfortable with the content. Learners' achievement in the external assessment for the BTEC First also confirms this content is engaging and accessible to learners, as well as being suited to the requirements of external assessment. Through the redevelopment of the BTEC First Award, we've taken the opportunity to enhance some areas of content to ensure this component can be delivered practically through resources that are available in schools. We've updated the range of fitness tests to incorporate both physical fitness and skill-related fitness, using easily accessible equipment and up-to-date fitness tests. Training methods has also been updated to include skill-related training methods, whereas previously it was just physical fitness components that were included. You asked us to clarify some of the content around reliability and validity of fitness tests and advantages and disadvantages of fitness training methods, which we've addressed through this redevelopment to make it clear what these terms mean and how they can be applied. Some additional content has been added into this content from content in both the First Award and Tech Award based on feedback from centres. Fitness programme design and sports psychology have been shown to be very popular, so we have retained this content and incorporated it into a new learning game which explores fitness programming and motivational techniques to support participants' adherence to a fitness programme. As this is a synoptic component, content from the previous two components does come together and is built upon in this component. Additional content has been added related to the provision of fitness training across the 3 different sectors and long-term adaptations that occur from fitness training. This will help learners to understand why performance in fitness tests improves as a result of fitness training. So a summary of this component 3 is that it explores fitness and different types of fitness for performance in sport and fitness physical activity. It looks at fitness tests for physical and skill related components of fitness will be investigated, as well as ways to improve fitness through different training methods and training principles. It'll look at how the body adapts to this training, and to complete the component, fitness programming is covered, which includes fitness program design and motivational techniques to support people taking part in fitness program. This component allies to the externally set unit and synoptic unit of the BTEC First in Sport and some content in the externally set unit in the Tech Award. The external assessment. The external assessment will be an assessment window based rather than on demand. Whilst the benefits of being able to sit at the external assessment at a time when the teacher determined best was seen as an advantage by many practitioners, however, there were a number of concerns that were noted due to the nature of on-demand external assessments. The assessment window-based approach allows us to provide past papers and lead examiners reports after each series, which was not possible with the on-demand assessment. This provides greater transparency and support to teachers and learners, as the paper can be made available in an allocated time frame after the exam has been set. This also allows us to provide you with additional resources such as past papers that can be used as mock assessments to help you to determine when your learners are ready to sit the external assessments and help learners prepare for their external assessment. In addition, we will be able to offer the same level of support after each external assessment window in terms of a lead examiner's report, release of learners' mark scripts and exam grade boundaries. So in summary, the external assessment is a written assessment that requires learners to demonstrate that they can identify and use effectively an appropriate selection of skills, techniques, concepts, theories and knowledge from across the whole qualification in an integrated way, builds on knowledge, understanding and skills acquired and developed from components 1 and 2, and it includes synoptic assessment. The supervised assessment window is a maximum of 1.5 hours and should be arranged in the period timetabled by Pearson. The assessment availability is January, February and May, June, and the first assessment is January, February 2024. We encourage you to look through the draft specification, the Pearson set assignments, PSAs, and the SAMs, which are available on the Pearson website. And if you require any further questions, preparing to deliver and need further support, please don't hesitate to get in touch with us. You can contact myself, the subject advisor, by phone, email, Twitter or Pearson Contact Us portal. You can also attend one of the upcoming Getting Started events early next year, where we'll be covering the qualification and the assessment in more depth and answering further questions. You can book by visiting the Training for Pearson page on the Pearson website. There's a brief summary of the specification, but thank you very much, and I hope to see you in one of the coming live events.